It's December! The holiday season has begun! Which, depending on who you are, means it's either going to be the best time of your life or hell on earth. Which also means for the next month, we will be looking at books focused around the holidays or famous holiday figures. The last 2 years have been primarily focused on Christmas because there are a lot of books about Christmas. But it made me wonder, are there books that look at the other holidays? Well, of course there are! There's a book for everything! There's a bloody children's book about pooping! So I did a little digging and came across this little title about a man celebrating his heritage against the monsters that despise it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, my name is David Popovich, aka the Bookworm, and welcome to Bookworm Reviews. Sit back and relax as we dive into Hershel and the Excuse me. Hershel and the Hanukkah Goblins by Eric Kimmel and illustrated by Trina Shart Hyman. So as some of you may have noticed, this is a picture book. And I'm sure some of you are asking, why on earth would I review of all things a picture book? I review children's books, teen books, graphic novels, but a picture book? Or let me say what some are thinking. Hey, he's reviewing a baby book. Who does he think we are? A bunch of thumbsuckers? Let me stop you right there before you make yourself more of an ass. Yes. Picture books are made with very young children in mind, as a way to teach them reading while having pretty pictures to keep them interested, which provides its own challenge since I can basically sum up the entire book in a paragraph. These things aren't known for their length, but I've said it several times before, this channel is about looking at all kinds of books, young and old regardless. Oh, and if any one of you actually thinks these are baby books, I guess you would say the same to the works of Maurice Sendak, Beatrix Potter, P.D. Eastman, and Dr. Seuss. There's the door. I'm sure you can show yourself out. Okay, that's enough pointless rambling. So what is Hershel and the Hanukkah Goblins about? It's the first night of Hanukkah, and Hershel of Ostropol is walking to the next village, excited for all the merriment and bright candlelight that comes with the holiday. But when he arrived, the village was silent and dark. Not a single Hanukkah candle could be seen. When Hershel questions the villagers, they tell him that there is no more Hanukkah because of the monstrous goblins. They haunt the old synagogue at the top of the hill. They hate Hanukkah. Oh, so the Republicans. Hi-oh! But Hershel isn't afraid of the goblins because this is one of his people's most important holidays, and he's not going to allow these goblins to outlaw their holiday. He asks the rabbi what he must do to free the town of them. You must spend 8 nights in the old synagogue. The Hanukkah candles must be lit each night. On the 8th night, the king of the goblins must light them himself. That is the only way to break their power. It's a tough challenge, but Hershel is up for it. If I can't outwit a few goblins, then my name isn't Hershel of Ostropol. Which leads to the main meat of the book, Hershel meeting the 8 different goblins that haunt the town as he finds different ways of tricking them so he can light the menorah, which is one of the main highlights as you see how Hershel tricks the goblins. Like on the first night, when he meets a little pipsqueak goblin, he threatens to crush him like he can do to rocks. Crush rocks? You're joking! Nobody's that strong! I am. Watch! Hershel took a hard-boiled egg from his pocket and squeezed it until the yolk and the white ran through his fingers. The little goblin's eyes opened wide, since in the dim light, the egg looked exactly like a rock. So how is the book overall? Well, at first, I was only going to call it okay, a sweet simple story with some pretty pictures. But then I did a little research about the book and discovered a lot that made me re-examine it. Originally, I was going to make a critique that I wished the book explored Hanukkah more, to give us a background about the holiday and the people that celebrate it. But I didn't realize that the book does, just not in plain text. The main character, Hershel of Ostropol, is a prominent figure in Jewish culture who is actually real, well known for his pranks and tricks targeting the rich and powerful. So, basically a funny Jewish Robin Hood. Seriously, look up this guy's wiki and read some of his tales. They are hilarious. Then I read how the author Eric Kimmel got his book rejected for being too weird and out there for a traditional Jewish market, even though his goal was to create a new story about the holiday using a classic folk hero, only to meet an enthusiastic group of editors and publishers that needed a Hanukkah story for their children's magazine Cricket. They published it in the magazine and was so well received that the illustrator, Trina Hyman, got them to make it into a picture book. And the story about the illustrator is interesting, since she has worked on a lot of picture books, mainly fairy tales, and the chance to draw something other than a princess was a breath of fresh air for her. And you can see that. You can say anything about the story, but you can't deny that the art is gorgeous, especially when you look at the designs of the goblins, each with their own unique look that's both scary yet mesmerizing. And while the book is short, I'll admit, I got scared when Hershel meets the king of the goblins for the first time. Don't judge. Don't you know who I am, Hershel? Weren't you expecting the king of the goblins? Donald Trump. The voice rose to a hurricane roar. Donald Trump. It ripped the shingles from the synagogue roof and shattered the windows. And upon re-examining the story, I realized just how good the book really is. Think about it. It's about a man wanting to celebrate an important holiday for his people, but can't because of a tyrannical group of monsters that, while we never learn why they hate Hanukkah, wish to see them not celebrate it publicly. Almost like a war. Maybe I'm reading too much into this, but if that's not a bit of commentary, then I don't know what is. It's a quick read. I got it done in like 15 minutes, but looking into it more made me see just how good the story is, even if I didn't catch it the first time. The plot is basic and simple, because its target audience is children, but it has a real charm to it. A look into a culture I really don't know much about and want to know more of. It's a good book for the young and the young at heart. What about you, Internet? What's your opinion about Hershel and the Hanukkah Goblins? If you have a book you would like me to review, let me know in the comments below. Next week, we go back to look at Christmas as we learn the true story about its most famous figure from the man himself. Till next time, have a nice day.